All right, now the thing I want to talk about, spend a little bit more time on this morning is a new path to gathering here at Christ Church. We're making some adjustments in our regathering strategy, and here's why. One, this pandemic has gone on a long time. We're at each month along the way, we're adjusting, and there's a sense of kind of like we need to normalize in a sense. We don't know how long this will go. It's now going on 9 months, and there's a normalizing effect that we can begin to take. We also have a few months under our belt, not only at Christ Church, but across the country as churches have regathered and found ways to do that are safe and take precautions, and we've done that here, and our health team has done a phenomenal job just advising us on how to care for each other and love our neighbor in the ways that we regather. So we have learned a ton, and through our own experience here, we've established some rhythms, and you've gotten used to some of what it means to come together here at Christ Church, the call to be a body who gathers together in worship. This is fundamental to who we are. This is quite the aberration from what it means to be the church the past 9 months. And we don't want scatteredness and disembodiedness to become the norm, but as much as possible, return to the norms that we can safely. So here's how we might do that. First of all, thank you as a church. Y'all have been really wonderful. You've done a great job with the protocols and the safety precautions we've taken. We know they're tough and they're challenging, sometimes inconvenient, the process and all of that. It's one of the ways, however, that we love each other well. We love one another as the body of Christ, and we love our neighbor well. So as we talk about the new normal, here's some Sunday morning conversations we're going to change. Effective immediately, as you think about coming next Sunday, for instance, and registering. We are shifting some of our focus of what happens here to what happens here as opposed to the live stream. And so we have always looked at the camera and put our services together in a way for the first 6 months that were focused on everybody who was watching online, because that was the only way it was happening. Now we're beginning to shift a little bit to have a little bit more presence in the room, and we want to shift how we do our service a little bit as well to reflect the balance of the two. So you'll notice that. You'll notice that also in the way it looks in the room. There's a set over to my right. You can't see that at home probably, but that's where usually Matt and I will do the chat. We're gonna be removing that set. We'll make a little bit more room for chairs. We're not going to be doing the pre-service chat like we have been, so that as we come to worship and gather in embodied ways here, that we are able to just have fellowship right up until we worship together, and then move straight into worship and the liturgy of the day. The chairs also, those who are here, you see that? We're starting to return the chairs to the way that they were before the pandemic, where chairs are in rows across the room, but still seated in distanced ways. The primary changes, however, that I want to talk about are the registration process. And these are some adaptations that we're making. You still need to save your seat to come, because we have limited capacity. We're a church that's much larger than the room capacity here, especially when we're distanced. So we're still going to have limited capacity. So we have to know how many people are coming, because we don't want to turn you away at the gate as you come to the church. So, however, there was a deadline of Thursday night. And the new deadline is just, you can register all the way up until Sunday morning. You can wake up Sunday morning and go online, and if you see that there's still room, it'll show you if it's full. But you woke up and you say, I think I'm going to go to church today. And you check online and there's room. You can register at home even on Sunday morning before you come. We're removing the waiver as well. There was a legal waiver, and we don't think that's necessary anymore after a few months now. There's not a self-assessment as part of coming. You were filling out a form that assessed and answered several questions before and sent that in as part of the registration process. Another change is that there's not differing groups every Sunday. You know how if you were in a certain small group, then it was a certain Sunday, or if you had your last name was one letter or another, that determined which Sunday you could come. So the way it is now is every Sunday is open to anybody. So we're going to try this out and see how everybody, all churches, we're all experimenting and learning as we go and pivoting and adapting, and that's one of the things we're going to try out. Let's just see what happens. And if it gets to the point where there's enough people substantially more wanting to come and worship, then can in one service on a weekly basis. We're going to look at overflow options and other ways to worship offerings that we can do. All right, having said all that, here's what's not changing. Our actual on-site precautions, health precautions, when we're together, aren't different. So it's mostly process to get here that we're talking about, and a little bit about the room arrangement and what we're doing with the service. Once you're here, the actual precautions for health safety are the same. So still wearing masks, still social distancing as you come, and seating in different areas, and your temperature will still be checked as you come in through the gate. So those are a few of the things I just want to tell you that we're able to look at the past few months, assess them, and make some adaptations. We're not relaxing, again, the guidelines for health, but we're simplifying the process of getting to worship. In the meantime, we want to look for more ways for outdoor worship. We had a great week last night. If you were here, we actually, the numbers of people who came and showed up for outdoor worship last week exceeded our expectations. It was really beautiful and a lot of fun, a great environment. We're going to do that again. It's always weather permitting, and we're hitting that time of year where weather's very variable. But we're scheduling for November 15th, another Sunday evening, 5 p.m. outdoor worship, and December 6th. So go ahead and mark your calendars. That's next Sunday night, 5 p.m., another outdoor at the basketball court area worship service, and then December 6th. We long to be together, and that's ultimately what this conversation is about, and all the discernment and the prayer and the decisions and seeking counsel and all of that. The goal is, on the one hand, to be healthy and take the precautions we need to, while stepping as much as we can into what it means to be present. What it means to be present to each other, to be physically present, to be the body of Christ, and to hold those things together wisely each step and each month of the way, asking questions again afresh. And as we have been able to gather and begin to see each other's faces, it has been such a delight.